All right, Metaverse Masterclass is now in session. How are you today, Shay?
Oh, I'm doing great, Robin. Thanks for asking. I'm actually really excited about our guest today.
That's right. You know who it is?
Who is it?
All right, we got the man, the myth, the legend, CEO of Coinbound, the 8-figure crypto marketing agency, and host of the Crypto Marketing Podcast, Ty Smith here today. How are you, Ty?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Oh, we're doing fantastic.
Great.
Glad you can join.
Thank you.
Okay, so before we jump in and let our audience know what it is you do, I want to ask you a question so our audience members get to know you a little bit better. A nice little icebreaker game. So are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Can you share with the audience, if you were stranded on a desert island and you could bring one food with you, what would you bring and why?
Oof. I might bring Cliff Bars just because they kind of have everything going for them.
Good strategy. I like
That's
that.
right.
I like that. Cliff Bars. How many would you think you would eat a day though?
Oh, I'm not on an island now, and I probably put down 3 a day. So
Nice.
at least 9.
That's a great answer. You know, I've asked people that in the past, and sometimes I hear crackers, something that'll last somebody for like a sure enough hour, and then they'd be out of here. So I really like your answer. Thanks for sharing, Ty.
Crackers are a little too dry for me.
That's right. That's right. Ty, thanks for playing the game. So for the uninitiated and people that don't know who you are, please tell us a little bit about your background, and where you're from, and a little bit about what you do before we dive in.
Sure. So I am the CEO of a marketing agency that focuses exclusively on the crypto, blockchain, Web3, whatever you want to call it, industry. We've worked in the industry since 2018. We've worked with some awesome clients, including eToro, Voyager, Nexo, Cosmos, Litecoin, Tron, Shapeshift, CoinStats, just tons of big and small brands in the space, kind of helping them get to market, helping them attract new users and kind of grow their base. We're a 14-person company. We are all remote, mostly split between New York and Los Angeles. And we are aggressive and growing fast. So excited to be sharing the story.
Wow,
Awesome.
That's amazing. Now, this is a very unique industry that you've jumped into. What was the oomph or the idea that you had surrounding starting this company? Can you share that with us?
Sure. So before I started the agency, I was the CMO of a couple small crypto startups, usually in the sales and marketing role there. And just going through the process of trying to attract users and really just kind of do my responsibilities as CMO, I really could not find any agency partners that were really doing the job well. There was these traditional agencies that were kind of just applying traditional marketing tactics to this new innovative field, and it was not working successfully. So kind of wrapped things up with those startups and said, you know what, I can figure this out. I have a background in marketing. I really love crypto. I'm going to devote the rest of my time professionally to figuring out what it takes to actually grow a crypto brand. And then we did that. And then, 3 years later, we've kind of built a whole agency around the answer to that question.
Oh, wow. Now, really quick, if you don't mind me asking, can we take one step back? Because we have a vast audience. So we have people who are already immersed within this world, but we have people who are beginners. So could you just walk us through what is crypto for those who actually don't know? I'm sorry. I know it sounds crazy.
Well, it is Metaverse-ology, right? So
we're
trying to break this bad boy down.
Yeah. So can you just explain it? Thank you.
Exactly. Sure. So crypto as a whole represents, in my mind, you get a different answer from everyone that you ask, but in my mind, crypto represents the industry of blockchain, or more commonly now known as Web3. It is this new version of the internet that is largely focused on decentralization, using things like blockchain as a technology to facilitate peer-to-peer transactions, online transfer of money, value, information. So that's kind of the overview of what I would describe as crypto, as what crypto is. What most people kind of assume crypto to be is just cryptocurrencies. That's really just one aspect of what crypto and Web3 is nowadays. When we first got into the world of crypto, that really is what the focus was on. It was everyone was launching their own token and launching their own crypto, or launching their exchange. And then over that time, it's kind of expanded to this really kind of diverse industry that includes decentralized finance, that includes NFTs, that includes the metaverse, all kind of coming down to this kind of basis of decentralized information sharing.
So from your perspective, Ty, you think so crypto is more, like you said, equivalent to Web 3.0, and metaverse, blockchain, all that is a part of the crypto economy.
I would say
ecosystem.
If you were to draw out like the circle of crypto and metaverse, if we're going to take the conversation to metaverse, I'd say there's a huge overlap between the two. But there is components of the metaverse that are outside of what I would call crypto. Just like there's a huge part of the crypto industry that isn't necessarily part of the metaverse, in my opinion. The metaverse is, at its most basic form, just kind of an online digital representation of the real world, where people can interact with each other, buy products, sell products, spend their time just like they would in the real world, except now it's done in a digital, more connected way. Crypto is sort of or I should say blockchain is really the technology that powers a lot of that and makes that possible. But I think there's an important distinction between the metaverse and crypto as a whole.
Great answer. So people are listening, like, why? Some of the people that, again, are not familiar with what's happening in this like light speed, they're like, why now? Like, why can't we just leverage the old way of transferring money? I thought it was working, right? And so from your perspective, why are we moving from a Web 2.0 to a Web 3.0? Why is it important right now, and why crypto?
Yeah, well, I think to say that it is working in Web 2.0, which is what most people consider, like, as of a year ago, like the standard of the internet, to say it is working is partly true in that it works without, too many issues, like if you're talking about like a bank holding your money or things like that. But I think there's just this kind of human drive that we all have to make things a little bit more perfect. And I think Web3 is a big move towards making things a little bit more perfect, a little bit fairer to everyone. It doesn't rly on intermediaries who can say you can't have a bank account because of X, Y, and Z, because you've done this in your past, or because you believe this, or you identify as this. Web3 puts the power of ownership in everyone's hands, regardless of where they live, where they come from. And I think that is becoming increasingly visible as an important value that everyone has had as a society lately, just with everything going on in the world of politics. And I think that woke a lot of people up to wanting to have full ownership over their money, over their property, over their assets.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
Wow. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Ty, I love what you're doing with your agency. And what I really like to ask a lot of business owners that come on here, what were any obstacles that you experienced when starting your agency, if any? Maybe you didn't have any, but did you have any obstacles for anybody else thinking about getting into this arena?
Yeah, I mean, every day when you're an entrepreneur, you deal with obstacles. You deal with people telling you no. You deal with people telling you you're not good enough or you haven't worked hard enough. Obstacles are like just what the day entails. I wake up and I go to my phone, and it's just obstacles.
That's right.
So to be an entrepreneur, I don't think you have to have necessarily a certain type of skill set. You have to have a certain type of mindset of like these obstacles are really opportunities to get better. As far as obstacles, like examples of obstacles, I mean, competition is ramping up. We were kind of the first in the industry, so we've been able to grow quite successfully over that time. But every week we have new competitors popping up, doing things kind of their own ways. I like to look at that, again, not as an obstacle, but more as an opportunity to learn from someone else's mind working on the same thing that I'm working on. I mean, the obstacles just in year 1 and 2. I mean, year 3, things are going great for us. Like you said, we're an 8-figure agency, 14 people now, kind of at the cusp of understanding what crypto marketing is. There was 2 years where it was just kind of me and some people in a dark room plugging away on the internet, being told no by everyone. That's kind of just what you deal with when you're starting a company.
Yeah. No, absolutely. We totally resonate with that. It's just tons of obstacles. And I think it's, like you said, making that paradigm shift, mentally understanding that these are just opportunities. So great advice right there. Now, let's break this down a little bit more, right? How is a crypto marketing agency different from a traditional agency? People are like, okay, so what are they marketing? How is it different? And so share a little bit about that perspective around the delta between the two, and maybe some of the exciting campaigns and things that you've run with some of these new companies.
Sure. So I mean, there's a couple of factors that differentiate us from a more traditional agency. One is obviously the clientele. Crypto is an industry that changes so rapidly that every week we're seeing companies that are building something that didn't even exist a month ago. Yeah. So it requires a lot of understanding of the fundamental underlying technologies of crypto, what's possible, how things work. and then being able to translate that message into something that is easily understood by the rest of the world, or at least people that are in the crypto world. And then later on, like the mainstream audience. A lot of it is very different tactics. So crypto marketing is a lot of focus on community building and community moderation and management. So we'll do a lot of things as far as building online communities, especially on like Telegram or Discord, if you guys are familiar with. That's really kind of where everyone lives in the world of NFTs these days. And just kind of putting our minds towards understanding what the products are and how to communicate that most effectively. Yeah, we've dealt with obstacles in the past as far as like paid media advertising. Things like Facebook ads and Instagram ads were never friendly to us as an agency until recently they kind of opened up and said, crypto's fine. But for the past 2 years, they've been really anti anything crypto related. So we've kind of built these like owned channels for clients where they, again, it really meshes with the whole like mantra of owning your own everything. In this case, owning your own media channels to market.
Wow, that's crazy, because I know, especially being a former CMO, like those Facebook marketing ads and all those different type of ads and those campaigns, it's like the bread and butter, right? Like if we could just target that right audience, but they don't live there, huh?
Yeah, no, NFTs now you can. I was just scrolling through Instagram and saw a bunch of NFT projects because obviously I'm targeted as NFT person in the eyes of social media. So that's kind of cool to see. That's a relatively new development
that people are kind of like shifting now. And like you said, building communities, I think a lot of organizations are then going to have to start thinking differently about what it means to build community, because that's one of the things that we always starting to hear. Like you need that community, and then who's going to be the person that's engaging and cultivating that community. So you guys are pretty much starting to master that piece and understand like, the minds of the people in the space. To be able to unlock these opportunities for the companies, huh?
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty exciting.
So
Awesome.
Ty, you're so far ahead in this, and I think that's phenomenal. So congratulations on the success of the company. And I know you guys are going to continue to be amazing in your industry. Tell me, where do you see this industry going as far as marketing in the crypto agency within the next 10 years? Like, how far are we going to go with this?
I think we're going to see a lot of parallels between how marketing exists now in traditional industries. I think crypto is going to become traditional in a sense. Maybe 10 years is like a very short amount of time for that to happen, but I think it will happen. I think we'll see like, like Outfront Media, how they own basically every billboard in New York City and everywhere really. That's going to exist in the metaverse. I think which metaverse, we don't know. There's multiple already, and there will be. But I think things like that will exist where now there's out-of-home advertising, but it's metaverse advertising. I think we'll see like an agency like us who's been kind of specializing in just crypto as a whole will have to branch out into different subdivisions of crypto marketing, just because now NFTs market quite differently than DeFi protocols, which market very differently from like a token offering.
Okay.
So we have to build out kind of departments like that. I think there'll be specialized agencies that focus on one particular vertical of Web3 marketing. That's certainly something we're working on. That's kind of how I see things rolling out. There'll be agencies that specialize in just community building or just paid ads for crypto marketing or just XYZ for crypto brands.
Wow. I mean, there's a lot of growth, a lot of education, a lot of experimentation. What does that mean for the future of work around this space? Because again, it's a lot of new information and just kind of trial and error. Do we have the skill sets out there yet? And then how do we get them there? In your opinion, like traditional college, we already see like, what does that mean for them versus someone that is just like playing around in the space and picked up that skill and can do the job? What are your opinions?
I think colleges will begin educating on blockchain. A lot of them already have. It's just another division of technology that now exists. And it really honestly is such a new technology that you can spend an entire academic career learning about it and still not fully understand it. I think that's going to be kind of like the theoretical higher learning approach to really kind of understanding Web3. I think there's this like kind of real world application and use that people will be learning about as well. It's kind of, I obviously didn't get a degree in crypto. It didn't exist when I went to college. I think it will exist now. There will be degrees in crypto related fields. I don't know. I mean, that's kind of the exciting thing is that no one really knows.
Exactly.
That's the great part about it, Ty. You said something that was really interesting to me. You were saying the difference between your agency and the traditional agencies, and how you see the traditional agencies taking up so much space, in our real world now. Robin and I actually just recently saw, we know everybody's buying a lot of space in different communities in the metaverse now. And Robin and I actually saw a traditional real estate company trying to get in and now sell property in the metaverse, when we know people can just do that themselves.
Yeah, they would look for agents, like real estate agents, to sell property. And I think we spoke to Reese from Superworld, and we're like trying to have, like, what do you think is the future of that? Like, is that necessary, right?
Yes. So that really goes back to how you were saying you have traditional agencies versus yours, and they're very different. And so it makes me wonder, will these traditional agencies just try to come and swarm in this new field, in this a new arena, where I feel like it's such a more fair, get your hands dirty and learn community, what's going on. I'd like to see more agencies like yours thrive in there versus the traditional ones we see now, and the billboards all over in, New York come in and take over.
And they might just try to buy Ty out.
I know they might try to buy you out. I hope not.
Right?
But what are your thoughts on that? Like, these people swooping in and into the metaverse world. What do you think?
I think they're going to try. I think, I mean, not they're going to, they already are trying in many cases.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, we see competition from people that are just spinning up an agency all the way to like the more mainstream agencies that are just now kind of waking up to the power of crypto and the community there. It's something that is, something that we keep our eyes on. Obviously, we want to be the biggest and best agency in the entire world. So it's something that we watch. I think it's exciting. Again, opportunity to kind of learn from people who have built out more refined processes for everything over decades, centuries, however long. But the thing with crypto is crypto moves so fast. You have to be full-time crypto. You don't get to dabble in crypto and be successful in the industry.
Yeah, it moves really quickly,
right?
Very quickly, day to day. Like, you got to keep your pulse on that thing. I saw someone put up a funny meme of Gary Vaynerchuk. It was just like, earlier this year when he started talking about like crypto, and then like in a few months, like, or NFTs, and he just looked so tired. Like, people are drained and burnt out. Like, let me ask you this, how has the pandemic affected your, the market space for you guys? Like, have you seen any changes, or has it accelerated your business? Because I'm thinking about it, like, you started 3 years ago, pandemic, the last almost 2 years already. Right. Like, what type of trends have you seen because of the pandemic?
We've picked up quite considerably, and I think that's just the fact that the entire industry has. Our success largely is based on the success of the crypto market as a whole, which was very successful and very bullish during the whole pandemic.
Yeah.
So for us, it was profitable.
Yeah. Congrats on
that.
Great
way to describe a global pandemic, but from a strictly business perspective, it was.
Well, like you said, there's always opportunity, right? There's always an opportunity. Looks like a problem, but mindset shift.
That's right.
All right.
Now, for those who are listening and you're inspiring so many people, what is one bit of advice you can give to those who are thinking about getting their feet wet in this industry, Ty? Can you leave them with one piece of advice?
Have a very open mind and be a student of the game, because it requires you to be a full-time student of the game to really be successful.
Yeah.
That makes sense. It does. Wow.
Hands down, that's what we're seeing, and that's why we're diving in. That's why we're doing this show, right? We're students. We have our expertise in certain areas, but again, you still got to learn. Continuous learners, and that's the name of the game now. Really quickly, I mean, I would love to continue talking to you, but I know we're both busy. Any exciting projects coming up for you guys? I know you're always constantly working and things are constantly changing. Any exciting projects that you'd like to share with the audience?
I tend to be kind of like secretive when it comes to what we're working on as far as clients go, just because I out of respect for them. But we're doing tons of stuff in the world of NFTs as far as just kind of community building capabilities internally. The team that we've built is so impressive to me that I'm excited to work with them every single day. And there's always kind of like new ideas and initiatives that are coming up. So stay tuned for that.
Stay tuned, guys. I tried to steal it. I tried to get it out of him. I knew he was going to hold it tight to the chest, but you guys keep, pay attention to what Ty is doing with the team. Congratulations to you and your team.
Yes.
You're doing a phenomenal job. Tell the audience where they can find you and listen to your show.
Sure. So best place would probably be YouTube or Twitter. YouTube, just type in Coinbound, it comes up. We do all of our crypto marketing podcast episodes on both audio and video. So you can find them on Spotify, Google, Anchor, Apple, as well as the video format on YouTube. And then Twitter, I'm at Ty Daniel Smith.
Fantastic.
Okay. Well, this was an amazing show. You really, for me, what I got out of this, I love the passion you have behind this, the growth you shared with us, your business experience, the growth, the passion, and, really not giving up. Competition is not an obstacle. We all face them, but, it's learning experiences. And that actually, I really like that, Ty. Thank you for sharing your wisdom with us today. I think our audience is really going to take that with them.
Yeah. Thank you, Ty.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me.
Okay. All right. And we'll see everybody next episode. Take care, everyone.